The conversation around immigration, issues along the border with Texas and Mexico, certainly spreading beyond that into our own San Antonio community here in Bexar County. In today's KSAT Q&A, we are joined by Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar. Sheriff, thank you for being here. You prompted one of these conversations about immigration. You held a town hall recently asking people to be a part of it, share their thoughts, their questions on this topic. Why do that? Why do that here in our own community?
Well, look, we felt it was important to keep the conversation going. You all know as well as I do that news is happening every day all around us. And this is such an important hot button topic that affects us all, whether we know it or not, that we didn't want it to get lost in the shuffle as more things are happening. And so we want to keep the conversation going because, look, the fact that 53 people lost their lives here in our county is certainly troublesome beyond measure. But we've seen a couple of other deaths since then. And I think this is going, God forbid, but I think this is going to be the new normal for us. We're going to continue to see cases like this.
Yeah, that's the scary part, that this is the new normal, as you said. What are you hearing in these town halls? And is there anything that's taken you by surprise in these discussions?
You know, yeah, we the other night we had a group of naysayers that came in just being negative from the onset, being confrontational with some of the nonprofit organizations that we had there to be resources to folks that may have been immigrants that came there to get information, and just being really nasty people in general, trying to shout us down as we're up there talking. We're in America, speak English. These are internet trolls that got out into the public and really, made a spectacle of themselves in an ugly way.
Are you hearing us, aside from the folks that fit into that category, what were some of the questions, maybe the concerns or just thoughts that people shared with you who were interested in the topic of immigration and this town hall?
So they wanted to know, what is Title 42 going away going to do? What does our future look like moving forward? Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? And unfortunately, we couldn't offer much by way of saying, well, no, this thing will be over soon. It's a humanitarian crisis that is just huge in magnitude, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And so the most that we can do is try to do the human thing and help these folks out of what's a tough situation in their country.
What are you seeing in Bexar County when it comes to this? I mean, obviously, what the tragic episode of what happened in the back of that semi-trailer, but there's things that are almost happening on a daily basis, correct?
There are. We're handling 2 cases right now of immigrant deaths, people that died one at a time in 2 separate incidents, but appeared to have just been dumped. And it just goes to show that these coyotes, these organizations, and make no mistake about it, these are cartels that are trafficking these people. It's much more profitable to traffic people than it is drugs at this point for them. And so, but they just see a price tag. The minute these people become ill on transit or possibly die in transit, they're cast aside. They're worth no more money to them. And so they just dump them like trash. And it's a tragic situation to have people dying like that in this county.
You mentioned something when we were talking about doing this interview that has stuck with me, that all 254 sheriffs in Texas really could be considered border sheriffs at this point. You feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Before we have border sheriffs, we have South Central sheriffs, we've got North Texas sheriffs. And, before people thought it was kind of a stretch when I would say, look, Bexar County border issues are Bexar County issues. I considered myself a border sheriff when I took office 5 years ago. Now I heard an interesting thing from a North Texas sheriff that said, you know what, we're all border sheriffs right now. All 254 of us are considered border sheriffs. And it's true. And he didn't say it in a nasty way. He just said that, look, these issues, we're all facing them right now. I think the whole country's facing them right now. At the National Sheriff's Association, there was talk that even sheriffs in Washington state are seeing issues with this, and that's about as far north as you can get.
Dealing with these issues that you weren't seeing, like you said, 5 years ago, like you are now, has it changed operations in your department? I mean, how have you all been able to take on this additional response to what we're seeing now?
Well, I'll tell you, we've got an organized crime group that is second to none. I have got some really gifted men and women over there at the organized crime group that they would work literally 24 hours a day if we allowed them to. And, now they're so caught up with border crime and cartel violence that comes along with these human smuggling operations, because these are really some bloodthirsty people that are victimizing these poor immigrants. That we're concentrating so much effort on that I could literally triple the size of that organized crime unit and we'd still be busy as can be.
You wrote a letter that we did a story on to President Biden and talked about all of the issues that you saw and, critical of some of the actions that the governor has taken. I know that you'd heard back. Are you continuing that conversation with the White House? Are you happy with what you have heard or not happy at this point? Well, look,
I know that the president is the leader of the free world. He's got a whole lot of stuff on his plate, right? I know that having staffers talk to the sheriff in Bexar County probably wasn't, high on his priority list, but I was glad to hear from the White House. I got to tell you, after 3 pretty irate letters to the White House, I was afraid I was going to end up on some kind of watch list, but it was a really cordial conversation and they liked what I had to hear. They liked some of the solutions that I proposed. They were not new solutions that they'd never heard before, but they did assure me that they liked what I had to say. They wanted to continue these conversations with me. I've been in pretty constant communications with former San Francisco Police Chief Heather Fong, who now is the law enforcement liaison for Department of Homeland Security. So yes, we're absolutely staying in touch with the folks in DC and working on some cases here locally.
And you've also got some other town halls coming up on other topics, one of them being school safety, which is certainly top of mind for all of us as everybody heads back to school. You guys are great about putting the information out there on social media, so I'm sure people can turn there to get updates on that if they would like. Sheriff Salazar, thanks so much for being here this evening.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe.